racist against rappers, they all look the same to him. They used to beg him not to egg him on Halloween. He told him holler back with the suede Pumas, dollar green. Nah, I mean, heat it up till the temperature tarball. Y'all just gawk like gargoyle.
Tyler. So, they said Tyler's getting canceled. I didn't think Tyler even had the capability of getting canceled. My earliest memory of Tyler the Creator is when that nigga ate a damn roach for a video. Like, you know, like, you know what I mean? When you see that, you're thinking, oh, he one of those. But apparently he's getting canceled right now, man. So I don't know what's going on. I've seen a couple of tweets talking about basically people, and it's crazy how the switch up happens, because now that Tyler is getting canceled, niggas are swearing up and down Chromacopia is like the worst album of all time. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy, bro. I'm not even that big of a Tyler fan, but even I thought that album was dope. So, and we're not gonna act like it didn't run the internet for like 3 months straight. Like, come on, bro. All right, let's go.
Now, Tyler the Creator is currently experiencing one of the harshest realizations any artist can face: the reality of the audience he built. If you've been on social media these last few days, you've probably seen Tyler the Creator's name getting dragged all over the timeline.
Yeah, okay. As long as Tyler the Creator, as a long time Tyler the Creator hater, this has been a very great week for me. Imagine just openly being happy that you were a hater, bro. Tyler the Creator deleting his anti-black tweets while people post screenshots of them.
A lot of people still...
Oh my God, bro. Yeah. No, that nigga used to be wilding out. He used to have that edgy white kid humor back in the day. Oh my God. I'm praying for the day niggas don't get Joji.
Don't understand what's actually happening right now, because this isn't just about a couple old tweets resurfacing. It's not even about a disrespectful comment section. It's really about what happens when your own fan base, the one that made you famous, grows into something you can no longer control. Yeah. And Tyler is in the middle of that fire right now. Yeah. In this video, I'm not only going to recap the drama, but I'm also going to show you guys why this moment is actually terrifying for any artist, but especially a black artist with a massive non-black audience.
Yeah. Tyler the Creator does appeal to a lot of white people.
And why Tyler might be living through the exact consequences he spent the last decade trying to avoid. Now, Tyler the Creator is a name or face I think almost everybody recognizes by this point. He's been in the music game for over 15 years, ever since the early Odd Future days. Yeah. Back when he was loud, rebellious, and unapologetic.
Look at Frank Ocean over there.
Really weird. And over that time, he's gone on to build one of the most loyal and cult-like fan bases in modern music. However, that same fan base is now at the center of a major dilemma. Tyler has been in serious hot water these last few days, and it all started with something incredibly innocent. A tribute post to the legendary neo-soul icon D'Angelo, who recently passed away from pancreatic cancer. Yeah. Tyler put up a heartfelt post honoring his legacy on Instagram, and instead of treating it with the seriousness it deserved, a portion of his fan base flooded the comments asking when he was going to drop music, and essentially saying things completely unrelated to the tribute, and they weren't acknowledging the loss. They weren't even present in the moment with him. Tyler eventually turned the comment section off, and that's when the situation took a turn, because shortly after he liked a tweet on Twitter that said, and I quote, "Tyler's fanbase hates black music despite Tyler himself having a very deep love and appreciation for it."
Okay, look, bro, I hope, okay, I want to be a content creator. I want to be an internet personality. I hope I never ever get to the point where niggas start analyzing the things that I've liked on social media. Like, that's crazy. Okay. But even with saying that, there's a lot of crazy Tyler has said and posted and made a lot of crazy, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's some innocent being. Like, I'm pretty sure I can see how this backfires. I don't even know everything about Tyler the Creator, but from the couple of things that I have seen from him back in the day, like back when he had the show on Adult Swim, and even before that when he was doing his Goblin and his Wolf album rollout, yeah, that nigga was definitely on some other shit.
Right, nigga has Charlie Wilson, Erykah Badu, and DJ Drama, etc. collaborations, and they still refuse to engage with black art on any meaningful level very cannibalistic.
So this is basically, people are saying this is Tyler admitting that he hates his fan base because they don't really consume any black media. I mean, I don't know enough about Tyler's fan base because, like I said, I'm not the biggest Tyler fan. But I mean, the fact that Tyler likes it must mean that there's some credence to that statement. But you know what I'm saying? Who's the one that built it? Yeah, this about to backfire majorly.
So the tweet was basically saying Tyler's own fan base benefits from black culture because that's what he is. He's black and he's a product of it, right? But they don't actually respect or engage with black culture itself. In other words, they love Tyler's aesthetics, his personality, his influence, but not the actual roots of the art he comes from.
Yeah, because I seen the Nardwuar interview with Tyler, and Tyler is very much like, despite all the jokes, all of the whatever you want to say about Tyler, despite any of that, the dude has a very deep passion for music. So that probably did hit him where it hurts.
And right after liking it, Tyler fired back with a tweet of his own where he said, "These Sun Dodgers are out of control, man."
Ha! Wow.
He ended up deleting.
Why is that? Golly. Nigga, did somebody screenshot it as he was deleting it? Why is that so pixelated?
Deleting this tweet, by the way. But if you're not familiar with the term, it's another way of saying white people. Now here's where things flipped, okay? Because almost instantly, the spotlight turned back onto Tyler himself. The internet didn't just criticize the fans, they started scrutinizing Tyler's past. And it sparked a conversation about the exact type of audience he has cultivated. And the focus shifted from his fans are being disrespectful to, no, wait a second, you created them.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Tyler. Yeah, buddy, you gonna have to take that one on the chin, bro. You gonna have to take that one on the chin, bro. You gonna just have, nah, bro. I don't, yeah, there's nothing you can really say to that.
A lot of the criticism was centered around this exact idea that Tyler made this kind of behavior feel acceptable inside his own fan base.
Yeah, because the things that he used to do and say back in the day, like, he was a straight up troll and edgelord, and that's what helped promote a lot of his music. Yeah. I guess he was hoping the fan base would grow up alongside him, but I think he forgot that they felt comfortable being as edgy as they wanted with him.
Because let's be honest, most of us remember the early Odd Future era. Tyler's music, his skits, even his tweets. That era of Tyler was extremely loud, edgy, and a lot of times offensive on purpose. And now those old tweets are resurfacing again, tweets that Tyler himself has actually been deleting in real time over the past few days.
No, Tyler. No, bro. No, bro. You just gotta own it. You just gotta be like, you know what, y'all right, my fault, and just own it, bro.
For example, here's one that started spreading everywhere. I hate Black History Month. Why the F do you have to fucking separate niggas still? Now, there are a bunch of other tweets.
Wait, what else did that say? Oh, it's paying homage to our heroes. Fuck that. Yeah.
Why the F do you have to fucking separate niggas still? Now, there are a bunch of other tweets that people started digging up, but that's just one that ended up going super viral. So that's where the tone of the conversation changed completely, right? Now, Tyler has faced this type of backlash before, but this time, I think this one is definitely different because for the first time, the outrage wasn't just about what he said in the past. It was directly tied to the people he speaks to right now. It wasn't just Tyler's fan base are being disrespectful. It became, no. This is actually your fault. That Tyler
basically
didn't just attract this kind of audience. He helped shape them through the early Odd Future era, the shock value, the edgy jokes.
That Wolf album was crazy.
Reckless tweets. People are now arguing that Tyler normalized this behavior in his fan base that made it feel acceptable to laugh at black pain, to mock black issues, to consume black culture without ever truly respecting it or trying to understand it.
See, my whole thing is, it's unrealistic to sit here and expect somebody to, like, completely erase their past, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, let's be real. Let's be real. From, like, basically anything 2016, and I want to say anything before 2015, maybe 2016, it was the norm to be edgy. It was It was completely normal to be edgy, completely normal to be offensive on purpose, completely normal to laugh at insensitive things and make insensitive jokes. That's why there's so many content creators and so many YouTubers who just get blasted because of all the old crazy things they used to say back in the day. But people got to remember that was a time period where that kind of stuff was acceptable, and it was like, you know what I mean? But the issue is that Tyler is not, it's like he doesn't want to accept the fact that, you know what I'm saying, this is kind of like a consequence of all that edginess back in the day. Because obviously, as a kid, like obviously younger Tyler probably wasn't thinking at all about how this would affect him in the future, how this would be a stain on his career. He probably thought he was probably thinking he was going to be edgy for the rest of his life. Now you have this deep, introspective, musically gifted, you know what I'm saying, prolific Tyler who's trying to like, you know, disavow all the edginess in the comments. But then, you know what I'm saying, Tyler, you blew up because you were edgy, you know. That's why I'm saying he just gotta eat this on the chin, bro. Like, there's not really much you can say to that.
And let's be real, Tyler's fan base has always been majority white, especially in the early Odd Future era. 90% of his audience back then was young white males who were chronically online, who loved that edgy, chaotic energy he was giving them.
I'm telling you, edgy humor has a face. You can look at somebody and tell that they probably said some edgy jokes.
Yes, black kids were there too, but what really blew him up at first was that wave of white internet kids who felt like they finally had, you know, permission to be wild and say anything in the name of being edgy. But over the years, as Tyler has evolved as an artist and stepped further into his creative maturity, his audience has obviously expanded. At this point, Tyler speaks to everybody. Teenagers, middle-aged white women, black fans,
middle-aged white women is crazy.
Hispanic fans, older people, fashion kids, music nerds, and so forth.
But that past is looming over him like a dark, ominous shadow.
His reach is not only massive, but his fan base is way more diverse than it was 10 years ago, right? However, the internet doesn't care about evolution, it cares about origin. Yeah. And that's exactly where the backlash went.
And the internet never forgets.
So now Tyler is basically being held accountable for creating the very behavior he's now denouncing. People are calling him hypocritical, saying you can't complain about the same people who made you famous. And on the other hand, some of those white fans are looking at it like, wait, what? You made it okay for us to act like this, right? It's almost like a kid in a grocery store acting all wild, and the mom tries to suddenly calm him down, and the kid looks at her like, calm down, this is how you raised me.
I'm not really a cupcake, but I am super baked, thanks to Mood Can of...
Except for the suddenly calm...
That pissed me off. Yeah, all of this because Tyler liked the tweet and then tried to... All this because of a light tweet and a stupid joke.
I'm down, and the kid looks at her like, calm down, this is how you raised me.
Then we get granddad come in there who says, have you ever tried whooping his ass? Shout out Boondocks.
Except for the fact that these aren't 8-year-olds. These are people between, I would estimate, 20 and 26 years old at this point, maybe 18, 24, 26, somewhere there, if I had to make a rough estimation, right? Some of them have literally grown up on Tyler since 2011. They were 12-year-olds.
You know a Tyler fan.
Laughing at the edgy Odd Future era, and now they're fully grown adults. However, still wired the same exact way, and that's what's being exposed right now.
That's the crazy part. Like, I'm not mad if you had an edgy phase back in the day, but I'm mad if you didn't fully grow out of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, like the edgy joke here and there, but like some niggas' entire personality is about being edgy, and it's honestly the most aggravating thing I've ever seen, bro. Like, come on, man. We're not in 2016 no more. Your 9/11 joke did not hit.
I know. So Tyler is now being forced to face the reality that's a very big part of his own creation. But at the same time, this isn't something he can fully control, right? These are real individuals making their own decisions about how they choose to show up, regardless of whether Tyler contributed to shaping that behavior during his younger years.
There's only so much blame you can put on Tyler, but there still is enough blame to where you could make the argument that Tyler was definitely being hypocritical by trying to disavow his edgy audience. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like, whoa, slow down, Tyler. This is you.
The truth is, Tyler is 34 years old as of today, right? He's not the same man he was back then when Odd Future first blew up. He's evolved into something far more intentional, thoughtful, and artistically refined. Because like many black artists, Tyler didn't just make music. He became an entry point into black culture for an entire generation. And at the same time, he became a home for black kids who never felt like they fit anywhere. Too black for the white kids and too white for the blacks. Earl Sweatshirt said that once. And it stuck with a lot of people, including myself. Artists like Tyler and Earl, right?
Earl is fire.
Right, have become more than just celebrities. They became a voice for people who never had one.
The weird kids who didn't care. Like, real talk, bro. I watch their skits and their jokes a lot more than I listen to their music, bro.
Here's where things get complicated, because the same people Tyler represents racially are not the same people contributing to his pockets monetarily.
Yeah.
And that matters because Tyler isn't just an artist. He's a black artist, and the black experience comes with a very specific type of weight and responsibility. You don't just stay a musician for long. The moment you start influencing the culture and the world, you unintentionally become an educator in a lot of ways, or a reference point, if you will, an entry point into blackness itself, especially for people outside of it.
Because we gotta remember, I know but look, sorry, I gotta talk about it. We are still minorities. There are still a lot of people out here who don't really understand it, but they want to try to understand it, and they want to learn to appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Because it is an amazing culture. We've influenced so many things, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of trends, a lot of jokes that all started from black people. Bruh, that's all. I mean, like, come on, bro. So yeah, that's why, like, when you're using the black experience to make art and media, you have to kind of be more careful about what you choose to do with it, because if you go down the stereotypical way and you make everything all jokey jokes and stuff, it's gonna make people not take it seriously. And then instead of just thinking, oh, they're just making jokes with you, they're gonna start thinking they're making jokes at the culture you're representing. It's crazy.
And a lot of non-black kids grew up on Tyler, not just because he was wild and unfiltered, not just because he was saying things they couldn't say, but because he gave them access to a world they were never fully a part of. But that's where things get a little bit blurry, right? Because in Tyler's early years, his entire identity was built on, I don't care, I can say whatever I want.
Yeah.
And when you build your brand on that, you naturally remove the boundaries for the people supporting you, and people stop knowing what's satire and what's an actual reflection of how you view your own people, right?
That is literally what I just said, but more intelligent. Blackie definitely knows how to speak.
And once that line is gone, they stop treating it like art and start treating the way you move like permission.
And that's just been the problem with edgy humor in general, because edgy humor always wanted to try to push the boundaries and then try to make it seem like you're the one being sensitive if you eventually get offended by something. It's like, no, bro, like, what you just said was crazy. You know, you can't just use satire to hide behind it. What you said was genuinely crazy.
Tyler's own flaw, I don't think he fully understood the weight of that back then.
Nope.
He was just being himself. He wasn't trying to be a cultural ambassador. But as he evolved, his music evolved as well. And Flower Boy in 2017 was the turning point.
Yeah.
That was the album where everything shifted for Tyler.
I remember when that first dropped, I think at first people were like, this is Tyler? And yeah, it was.
First time he fully embraced vulnerability, softness, introspection. And that was also around the time he seemingly came out the closet, right? With lines like, I've been kissing white boys since 2004. It marked the beginning of a whole new era. One where Tyler became the embodiment of the same freedom he once used to mock. And that's something a lot of artists struggle with. You lean into something early on to stand out, and you attract people who fall in love with that version of you.
But then that version of you is not the real you. And when you try to evolve, that other version of you is still kind of like a nasty scar on your record.
But later, when you grow and evolve, mature, a part of your audience refuses to come with you on that journey. So now the question becomes, to what extent should Tyler be held accountable for cultivating an audience like this in the first place? That's a question I have to you, because he doesn't really have the authority to control how they show up. That part of his fan base, in my opinion, is a virus he's never going to be able to fully contain. How I look at it is, at the end of the day, it comes down to the individuals who made the decision not to grow with him. And I generally believe a big portion of his audience, even if they'll always call themselves fans, will never actually evolve with him.
Yeah.
They'll most likely permanently stay stuck in that era they discovered him in.
I can agree. And yeah, on the point about how much culpability Tyler has, like I said, it was decades ago. 2016 was almost an entire decade ago, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I want to say, obviously, there's room for forgiveness for Tyler's past actions, but Tyler himself can't come out here and act like he's just always been disgusted. Like, I feel like you just need to just come out and just address it directly instead of throwing all of these subliminals and all of these, you know, backhand tweets and stuff, because you're tweeting as if you were never cool with it. And I think that's the part that's pissing people off the most. You need to just come out and just talk about it, you know, artists to fans, and be like, look, I remember how things used to be back in the day, but that's not how it is now. And I'm not cool with that. Deleting the past evidence and stuff, I mean, I guess you can delete it depending on how offensive it is, but you got to acknowledge it to some degree, you know, because it looks like you're just trying to hide it and not well.
Meanwhile, Tyler himself evolved far past their pace and far past their expectations. And in 2025, it's clear he's not even remotely the same person he was back then.
No.
So, you know, we literally change as human beings on a day-to-day basis. Our habits change, our mindset changes, our identity shift in every single second, even our bodies on a cellular level, right? And Tyler's evolution as an artist has shifted completely from where he started. And he obviously knows that. But to his own right, he refuses to be caged into a version of himself he's already outgrown. And the truth is, Tyler is never going to be able to fully escape the accusations tied to the fact that he once mocked his own people back then, right? Even if you looked at it as he was trolling or if you looked at it as he was hateful, doesn't really matter, right? At the end of the day, he helped lower the boundary for how far his own fans felt like they could go. And the reality is, that is a part of his story, history now.
That's why I said he's probably got to make a couple songs just dedicated to just talking about that. You know, address it. You got to address it full on, straightforward. You know what I'm saying?
No matter how uncomfortable that past may look in hindsight, at some point you still have to face the reality of your own creation, even if you're no longer that person anymore, right? And no matter how much criticism he continues to get, I truly believe this is a battle Tyler will always have to fight. And the only real way to fight it, if you ask me, is not by debating the internet, which he's obviously not doing right now, but it's by firmly reminding the world and himself that he is not the same man he once used to be.
Yeah, I agree, bro. Damn. Golly. Blackie, you need to talk to your editor. That boy cut you off. You need to talk to your editor. That boy cut you off. Crazy. Yeah, like he said, man, like I've been saying, at least, Tyler can definitely come back from this, but I think he just has to address it and straight on, head on, and talk about it, disavow how it used to be, say that he's not that person anymore, and just completely disown it. Not these little subliminal tweets, not these little, you know what I'm saying, not these light tweets, not all this. You got to just address it and accept that that's what happened, that that's the case, that that's what happened. And I think that's the best way to handle it, personally. But then again, I'm just some fat nigga. Y'all have a good day.